You're listening to the One Man Show Network. Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
All right, everyone, welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast. I am your host, Aaron Weinbaum, and sorry about the video quality here. I'm waiting for my car to get done, so I actually have some spare time here to do a little bonus podcast. I'm going to pick for Bellator 250. Interesting middleweight title fight between Gegard Mousasi and Douglas Lima. So I'm super looking forward to that. If you're on YouTube, please hit subscribe. If you're on Periscope, give me a follow. If you're on Facebook, it's a miracle. All right, first up, let's pick here. This is killing me because this fight is on the undercard. Nick Newell, okay, against Zach, let me get this nickname right, God's Warrior, Zane. So I look up Zach Zane, I look up like this model, and I think it's the same guy, but he just happens to be a mixed martial artist as well. So let's just take a look at his record here. He just beat nobody. I don't think he's fought anyone I've ever heard of. Noanya Dong lost to Max Roshka. I have heard of Max. Yeah, so Max, he was in the UFC. He had that unfortunate performance where he quit in between rounds, and it is what it is on that. I don't blame the guy. Of course, I do need to mention, if you would like to help me pick fights, I think I can pull in all your comments from YouTube and Periscope, possibly Facebook. I'm not really sure. But anyway, yeah, so this fight buried on the undercard here, but what's kind of crazy is a lot of people know who Nick Newell is, and he is buried on this card, like way down there, and I thought it was necessary to pick this card. But let's take a look at Nick here. He did just win, I believe. I mean, he hasn't lost very much, but, you got to question the caliber of fighter. No, he did just lose to Manny Muro, a split decision back in October of last year, so he hasn't fought in a year. Before they had 2 wins in a row, Corey Browning and Antonio Castillo Jr. But he does the same thing. Yeah, he did get knocked out way back in 2014 by Justin Gaethje. Lots of people do that. But he does the same thing. He wins a fight, he's feeling great. He doesn't win a fight. I've had nagging injuries and this and that. I'm not making fun of the guy. I mean, if you just follow his interview train, that's what you see. But I'd like to think that they're building Nick up here. And, if he doesn't win this fight against a relatively unknown person, then I don't know. Maybe it's time to re-examine your career here. Jake Hager, otherwise known as WWE's Jack Swagger. I'm not a big WWE guy these days. I used to be back in the day, but it's been since, I was in my 30s. I think 30 is about the rite of passage when you got to get some big boy hobbies. Sorry, all you WWE guys out there, feel free to talk smack to me. I don't care. So Jack Hager against Brandon Colton. I believe he is a former football player as well. So he's only fought twice in his life here. Wins over Larry Green and Conway Beaudry. Both these fights taking place in Showcase MMA, I believe. Showcase MMA. And then Jack Hager, Jack Swagger, whatever you guys want to call him. Sorry if there is some background noise. I am believe it or not, I am in a restaurant of all places, and they're letting me record here. I got some pull. Had that no contest. He kicked him in the nuts on accident against Anthony Garrett back October last year. Before that, he's got 2 wins. All these wins in Bellator, TJ Jones and JW Kaiser. So very interesting here. You're building up this guy is not physically impressive, this Brandon Colton, and you got to understand here, the bone crusher. They want, they want to build this guy up because he's got some star power. My buddy James Langley says, athletes are athletes. Don't underestimate the glass jaw. My man James. Yeah, for sure. All right, Henry Kralis, who I actually saw fight in St. Louis. I saw him fight Daniel Strauss back in the day, which was really cool because then after they fought, they sat behind me in the crowd and they were just kind of shooting the stuff with each other there, but Henry Kralis against Brandon Gertz. And I need to be refreshed about Brandon Gertz because for some reason I thought he fought at light heavyweight, but I think I'm mistaken here. No, he did just lose to Miles Jury at featherweight. Before that, he has a win over Saad Awad. Oh, yeah, no, I was right. He did. He lost to Michael Chandler at lightweight. Yeah, arm triangle choke back in 2018. So I'm not totally crazy here. So, and I need to make sure because this could be one of those short notice things. I need to go all the way to the beginning here. Sorry. It's got to be featherweight, right? It is. Okay. So I was not completely crazy that Brandon Gertz fought at lightweight. So, very spotty record. Lots of alternating here between wins and losses. But, gosh, when was his last win? March of last year. Just loses to Miles Jury, who's kind of a journeyman at the featherweight division. But apparently Henry Kralis has 2 losses here, too. Juan Archuleta, Darian Caldwell, the guys at the very top of the division here. Darian, former champion. Juan, now the champion. But he's got wins over Aaron Pico, Andy Main, George Karakhanyan. Wow. Yeah, I would like to think I like Henry in this one. But we'll see. Brandon could rebound here, but we shall see. All right, when are they going to learn the lessons here? Gegard, Mousasi, Douglas Lima. Douglas Lima, the former welterweight champion of the world. So let's just take a look at Douglas real quick. I think he's still the champion. Yeah, he is still the welterweight champion. He never lost that belt. So his last 3 fights, Rory McDonald, Michael Venom Page, and Andrei Koroshkov. So, very interesting here. His last loss was Rory back in 2018, and that was a unanimous decision, but he did avenge that loss, and good on him, you know. He has fought a lot of guys, man. I think he's even fought Ben Askren. Yeah, lost to Ben Askren back in 2012, so guy's really been hanging around here. And if I'm not mistaken, Ben kind of made him look silly on the ground. But wins over Paul Daly, Andrei Korshkov, Lorenz Larkin. But here's the problem. He's going up against Gegard Mousasi. Here's the other problem. Gegard Mousasi's a middleweight. And we saw what happened. You know, everyone's like, Rory McDonald's a big guy. Rory McDonald could be a problem for Gegard at middleweight. No, man, Gegard was huge. Gegard, who fought at 205 pounds, you know, and did well. I mean, that jab is just wicked. And, you know, even though he did, scrolling down here, he did lose to Rafael Lovato Jr., and we're never going to see that again because apparently Rafael's hurt. He just beat Lyoto Machida. But man, wins. Man, he hadn't lost before the Rafael fight. And that was a majority decision there. Since Uriah Hall on that and he did avenge that, but that was back in 2015. Then he came back and TKO'd him back in 2016. And of course, they never fought again. So sorry about that door close there. So, yeah. Listen, as talented as Douglas Lima is, I think history's going to repeat himself, and this much bigger man in Gegard Mousasi, he's going to come back, and he's going to beat him. And that's it. Thanks, James, for playing along. And if there are no more questions or comments, we'll see you later this week where I pick the fights for Anderson Silva versus Uriah Hall in the UFC, which takes place on Saturday, on Halloween. Maybe that's going to get me out of trick-or-treating. Maybe not. We shall see. So until next time, later this week, shalom.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.